Tragically, Scarlett Lewis's young son Jesse was killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012, and the 6-year-old was one of 26 victims murdered at the school in what would become one of the deadliest events of its kind ever to take place in the U.S. It was little Jesse himself, though, who would inspire his mother to embark on a journey of forgiveness, and that journey began with 3 simple words. Hello, wonderful people. I'm Jamie Buck from WonderBot, and here is... After her son was murdered in a mass shooting, this mom found the message he'd left before he died. Before we begin, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. The day of December 4th, 2012 may have started fairly unremarkably for the Lewis family, however, as well as for all the other children that attended Sandy Hook in Newtown, Connecticut. What would transpire later that morning, though, would end up changing their community forever. And the horror that would eventually unfold that day was caused by one man, Adam Lanza. The troubled 20-year-old lived with his mother Nancy. Sadly, she would become the first victim after being shot 4 times in the head at her home in Newtown. Lanza then drove himself to the school, reportedly with 4 firearms in tow, a rifle, 2 handguns, and a shotgun. There, he brutally massacred 20 first graders and 6 teachers. After law enforcement had got to the premises, though, Lanza chose to commit suicide. And sadly, as Scarlett Lewis would eventually find out, Jesse was among those slain at Sandy Hook. Due to the subsequent police investigation, however, it has been possible to ascertain some of the events of that day. As a result, Lewis has been able to piece together some of the final moments of her son's short life. Furthermore, Lewis would explain what she believes happened to Jesse. Today, quotes her as writing, "I wasn't surprised to learn from police investigators that when the fire blasts of automatic gunfire echoed through the hallways of Sandy Hook Elementary School last December, Jesse didn't run. What's more, although Jesse was only 4 foot in height, he stood tall in the face of considerable danger, according to his mom. And when the 6-year-old allegedly sustained a head injury, thought to have been the result of ricocheting ammunition, he didn't fall to the ground, it said. Rather, he remained upright, defying his killer." Apparently, Lewis has alleged Lanza's gun then jammed, or he may have otherwise paused to load more bullets. And Jesse took this opportunity to shout to his classmates, urging them to run, which they did. In short, the mom said her son saved these kids' lives. But as it turned out, that may have been at the expense of his own life, as according to Lewis, Lanza then shot and killed Jesse. Then, of course, Lewis heard that her son had been murdered, news that would devastate any parent. And given how Lewis's family home had been so touched by Jesse's presence, it's perhaps no surprise that the single mom initially couldn't face living in the property again. In time, though, she returned there in order to collect Jesse's clothes for his funeral. As Lewis was leaving her farmhouse kitchen, though, she saw 3 words from her son daubed on a chalkboard and written out phonetically: torturing, healing, love. And she subsequently understood that these words were intended to be nurturing, healing, love. A December 2017 Today report also revealed that the bereaved mother had said, "Oh my God," upon seeing the chalkboard, and Lewis's shock was understandable. After all, nurturing and healing are not considered to be words that are typically part of a 6-year-old's vocabulary. The phrase that Jesse had written wasn't one that the boy used day to day either. Perhaps then, Jesse had left a note of both reassurance and instruction for his family before his untimely death. And as it happens, this wasn't the first time that Lewis had received a message in connection to her son. That's because at the time of Jesse's death, she had had a feeling he wouldn't be long for this world. She therefore prayed for him. "I said a prayer every day since the day he was born, that I knew that he was a gift, and I knew he could be taken from me. And please don't," the mom has explained. And Lewis believes that Jesse's murderer could have benefited from what the words on the chalkboard meant too. "I also knew that if Adam Lanza could have given and received nurturing, healing love, that the tragedy would never have happened," the mom told Today. Lewis added, "The reason I say Adam Lanza's name is because I think it's vitally important that we remember that he was a human being too." She continued, "He wasn't born a mass murderer. He was cultivated into what he became by his environment." And Lewis has since enabled some good to come from her loss by founding the Jesse Lewis Choose Love movement. The organization uses nurturing, healing love as what its website describes as its foundational values. It also aims to help children deal with everyday issues in a more compassionate manner. To help young people make the right decisions then, the Jessie Lewis Choose Love movement offers what it calls a social and emotional learning enrichment program to school students and their teachers. According to its website, this includes character development, neuroscience, mindfulness, and positive psychology. Furthermore, Lewis has since written a book about her experiences entitled Nurturing Healing Love, A Mother's Journey of Hope and Forgiveness. There she has explained, although my story has many moments of sorrow, it's not a sad story, it's a love story. It's about my love for my sons, my family, my community, and God. Proceeds from the publication, moreover, will help fund the work of the Jessie Lewis Choose Love movement. And Lewis's activism was inspired not only by Jessie's chalkboard words, it seems, but also his final actions. Indeed, she told Today, "If Jessie could use the last moments of his life to save his friends, I certainly can get up every morning and do everything in my power to ensure we have a safer, more peaceful, loving world." Lewis continued, "You don't think you have that courage, but you do. We all have that courage Jessie showed on that day. It's the courage to be kind and gentle, to do the right thing, to forgive, to step outside of our own pain. That's the courage to choose love." Lewis also told Today, "I didn't write this story. I didn't start this story, but I can write the ending through forgiveness. And if she can help just one child who is struggling to deal with the world, then her work will definitely have been worth it."